Nickmercs said nothing wrong. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Call of Duty, the very popular video game, retaliating against one of the most popular members of their community because of a so-called anti-LGBT tweet. Now, the tweet we're going to get to in a little bit as far as the full context, but all that Nickmercs said was, hey, leave the kids alone. Leave the kids out of it. That is the essence of what he said, and for that, he was punished. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if that is considered LGBT, then we got some bigger issues, some bigger problems that need to be addressed. Now, before we get into anything, let's take a look at what's going on here. This is what Call of Duty is, right? You see the art style, you see the guns, you see the guys and the girls, the so-called operators. That's Call of Duty right there. This is a graphic of Warzone. There are a few different modes in the Call of Duty multiplayer experience. You have Modern Warfare 2, you have Warzone, you got a lot going on in between. I'm not quite sure what Nickmercs plays, if it's just a Warzone or the entire experience. He also co-owns the FaZe clan, and I think they're all over the entire game. This is a very, very popular game. You can make quite a bit of money if you're a popular streamer on Twitch, on YouTube, or wherever you are, and that is Nickmercs. And as a matter of fact, Nickmercs is so popular, they gave him his own operator skin. As you can see right here on the screen, these are different people wearing different outfits, and a lot of these people can change their outfits inside the game. Nickmercs had his very own skin, which we'll show in a minute. Call of Duty removed that from the game because of what Nickmercs said about leaving little kids alone. Somehow that tweet was anti-LGBT. Now, I can't for the life of me figure out why. Let's just get into the tweet. You see right here what he says. They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. That's what he said. That's why he's in trouble right now. But before we even get into this too deeply, let's just go back up a little bit and read the context, shall we? Now, a fellow gamer by the name of Puckett says, well, before I get to Puckett and what Puckett said, let's look at this right here, the tweet in the middle. Remember the situation in Glendale, California with the parents, a lot of Armenians and Hispanics who were protesting against their kids being fed the anti-LGBT, well, the not anti-LGBT, the pro-LGBT propaganda. Remember that? This person, Brendan Murphy, was tweeting about that right here with this tweet. Anti-LGBT protesters attack pro-LGBT demonstrators outside of a Glendale, California school board meeting. The school board is voting on recognizing June as Pride Month. And not just June as Pride Month, but also Trans Day of Remembrance, National Coming Out Day. And these particular days happen beyond Pride Month all throughout the entire school year. But that's a different story, and I digress. Something else about this tweet right here. Why must you call the parents anti-LGBT protesters and the Antifa-type crowd pro-LGBT demonstrators? They were doing the exact same thing. One side had their point of view, the other side have theirs. So why call one side protesters and the other side demonstrators? They're doing the exact same thing. You're trying to villainize one side that is on your side. But again, I digress. So Puckett was responding to that and said this happened 4 blocks from our Overwatch legal department. That's another video game right there, Overwatch. And I guess Puckett is referring to the protest right by the Overwatch legal department. Americans are in a sad place right now. Let people love who they love and live your own life. Now, for adults, yeah, I agree with that. If you want to be an adult and be involved in whatever you're involved in, as long as the other people or person, they consent, then hey, that's your business, not my business, not my lifestyle. But when we're talking about kids, I think what FaZe Nickmercs said right here is correct. Leave the little children alone. That is all we're trying to say. Now, let's get into a little bit more. Nickmercs responded to all the backlash, and I will link to this simply in the description box, but he actually responded on the stream. Like I said, he is a streamer, makes a lot of money there. Let's hear what Nickmercs said from his own mouth.
Simply feel that I want to be the one and my wife wants to be the one to speak with our child about stuff like that. And that was the tweet. That was the tweet. You can take the tweet if you want, and you can spin it, flip it, flop it, quote tweet it. You can put 10 paragraphs on top of it. You can do whatever you want to it to make you feel better if that's what you want to do. But that was the tweet. Okay? So if you came here to hear that, I hope you feel a little better about it. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I know that I did. I'm not apologizing about the tweets.
There you go. I was, because he was kind of going down the apology road in my mind, but I was wondering, okay, are you going to apologize? No. It's not an apology. I didn't mean to make anybody upset. And of course he didn't. It wasn't meant to be. That shouldn't upset anybody. Saying that you should leave kids alone should not upset anybody. Why would anybody be upset about that? Like I said, if somebody's gay, I don't care, man. I got gay friends or whatever. That's not my lifestyle. And they know that, but I respect them because they're good people. But nobody that I know that's gay, straight, whatever, nobody that I know says that you should allow children to be brainwashed with this kind of ideology. Okay, if a child becomes an adult and they want to go do different things, then that should be on them. As long as whoever they're doing it with is consenting, you're not breaking no laws or nothing crazy like that, then go for it. But children should be left alone.
I don't feel like it's wrong. I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm not going to delete the tweet. I just want to make sure everybody understands exactly the point I was trying to make by tweeting my response. And I do want to apologize to Puckett though. I feel like I might have brought a little bit of shit his way, man. I didn't mean to do that, but simply.
So that's the person that had the tweet right here. This was the tweet that Nickmercs was responding to, right? So that's what he's talking about right there. It's like, well, I ain't want to do that to Puckett. It's like, look, I have my opinion. I have my points of view. Any negative reaction, any comments should be given toward me. You shouldn't be involved. They shouldn't be asking you, how do you feel about your friend or this guy? Do you disavow? That shouldn't be on Puckett's back. It should be on Nickmercs' back. And I respect him for saying that. Shout out to him for that. Now, here is an article that we can kind of get through just a little bit. If you want to see anything or hear anything that I've spoken about so far, links as always will be in the description. This is from Forbes. It says Call of Duty removes Nickmercs operator skin from shop after LGBTQ comments. So that's a skin right there. You see that? The Spartan looking skin. So you can, let's not have the Manhattan grand jury stuff come up. You can get that skin right there, or you could have gotten the skin in Call of Duty, which was related to Nickmercs. It was a custom thing for him. You could look like that in the game to people, but they took it out, so you can't get that anymore. All right. Let's see what they say just briefly. High-profile streamer and Faves content creator Nickmercs grew so large in the Call of Duty community that eventually Activision gave him his own branded operator skin. But the operator has now been removed from sale in the wake of his comments in a thread posted by MLG's Chris Puckett. So I guess that's a different gaming community. MLG's Chris Puckett showing an attack by anti-LGBT group on pro-LGBT group during Pride. An attack? Is that what it was? I thought it was mutual combat. I thought that they were both expressing their point of view, which is your right as an American, and then things got heated. Why would it be seen as an attack from the anti-LGBT, quote unquote, which ain't nothing but parents worried about their kids? See what I'm saying? Wormy language. Anyway, Nickmercs' tweet, which has now been viewed 11.3 million times by Twitter metrics, says to leave little children alone. That's the real issue. 100%. 100%. It's a reference to a common Republican talking point alleging that the LGBT community is grooming children by educating them about the existence of sexual and gender identity. It's been a focus for Florida's Don't Say Gay laws, and it's become a major platform issue for many Republicans, especially Florida's own governor, presidential candidate Ron DeSantis. Now, is it about just educating about the existence of sexual or gender identity, or is it about having a 5-year-old say, you know what, I'm transgender, and have a reveal party in the school? Okay, when we're talking about sex and stuff like that, I think maybe the parents should be the ones that teach kids about that, especially little kids, small kids. We're talking about kindergarten, first grade, second grade, little kids that should not be worried about sex, right? let it be up to the parents to teach the kids about certain things like that, the birds and the bees and all that good stuff. You shouldn't be involved in this kind of education at all. And it ain't education when we're talking about pornographic books that show sexually explicit things, the things that are available in some of these libraries. My friend, let me come out so you can see me clearly. Let me come back. The things that were available in some libraries in a place like Florida, Texas, etc., red states that we had to fight to get out, were pornographic things that I can't even show right here. If I can't show the books that kids had access to on my stream, or else I might get banned from the platform, then maybe little kids shouldn't be exposed to it. And that's the point. That is the point. We're talking about pornographic, disgusting, ridiculous things that are shown to our children without our consent as adults, as parents. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Call of Duty made a big mistake. This might be a Budweiser moment, in my humble opinion. I'm not sure how gamers are going to react to it. That's a different kind of community than the Budweiser, people that drink beer and whatnot. It's a little bit different, but I think a lot of guys feel the same way. At the end of the day, this is going to be a male thing because it's mostly men that play Call of Duty. It's men that play video games mostly. Women play video games too, but not to the extent of men. Nowhere near it. When they're playing games, they playing stuff on their phone. Kim Kardashian, fashion operator, whatever her app is, they're not playing Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo. They're not playing these games. So what's going to happen is you're going to have another Budweiser moment, in my humble opinion, and then they're going to have to reverse course or just not do things like this in the future, okay? They can't do it. Matter of fact, so I'm not making it up. Here is Call of Duty even talking about it. They say, due to recent events, we have removed the Nickmercs operator bundle from the Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating pride with our employees and our community. Our community, what's that, the gay community? See what I'm talking about? This is going to be a problem. Who is your audience? Who are you talking to? Who are you trying to sell this video game to? And the microtransactions to? It makes you so much money. Okay, who are you trying to? You trying to sell the Nickmercs operator skin as a product that costs real world money, and you're trying to sell other skins, but if we're not here to buy it, what are you going to do? Very good question, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with Call of Duty and Nickmercs and the so-called anti-LGBTQ comment? Was it anti-LGBTQ to say leave the kids alone? And no, he didn't say anything about somebody being gay and that being wrong or a sin or disgusting or anything like that. He didn't talk about that. He was just like, yo, leave the kids out of it. Don't sexualize children. Is that a bad thing to say? And if it is a bad thing to say, then you got to ask ourselves, why is that a bad thing to say? Who says that not sexualizing kids is a bad thing? What kind of person would say a thing like that? I don't know, but whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.